So it's Brave and Tactical here, and I'm gonna name this one for the Prepping 101 series, right? I don't have the whiteboard up, I'm in the car. I'm gonna keep it pretty short. So, chickens for chicken basics. Since we just put our order in for more chickens, how did we start our chickens out, right? Well, we started out with a plan of building the coop, which the coop plans were loosely based off of Pinterest plans that we found. The coop is big in a sense. I believe it is 8 by 7, and it's a deck platform, and then it's tall. It's basically a one pitch roof, and at its peak, it's 8 feet tall, maybe 10 feet tall, and at the lowest, it's maybe 6 feet tall. So you have this pitch, and it's nice. There's a video of it before. So we built that, and then we initially started out with going to a lady that sells chickens. We got already mature chickens and started out with 5, and kind of learned our way through how they work, what they're gonna do for laying eggs. And then I believe that was early in spring, and then towards the end of spring, midway through summer, I ordered 10 Buff Orpingtons, which I've happened to see a Buff Orpington at the state fair, and I realized how big they get. So they get very big. I really wanted big chickens. So the Buff Orpingtons are extremely docile, but they're friendly to you if you handle them, if you're near them. They respond to you. They'll follow you around. When you're free ranging them, they're very nice birds. They don't attack you. They're not going to be mean. They really just like to be free and be able to, go into little packs and go around. They're easy to take care of. They're hardy birds. They handle the cold pretty well. And I would say overall, that'd be a great starting bird if you're in maybe our upper climate. They produce quite a bit of eggs. They're fairly large. I'm not gonna say they're huge eggs, but they're bigger than the store eggs. And they produce those really well, and that's what we started with. So we started with 15 birds and then 2 turkeys. My mistake was when I bought the turkeys, I didn't realize they were meat bird turkeys. So the turkeys and the buffs were bought at the same time, and they grew. The turkeys are outgrowing the chickens by like 2 to 1, and then you wind up these big turkeys. Well, 8 weeks or 10 weeks go by or 12 weeks go by, and then the turkey suddenly died. And I'm like, well, that's really weird, And the turkeys got along with the chickens, and it was fine. I couldn't figure it out. Well, they were boiler turkeys later on, I found out, and that was my bad. So it's one thing to look for when you're like ordering your chickens and ordering your birds. I would start out with no more than 10 to 15. I would say that's a good number to start out with. And if you're raising them from chicks, it's also a good idea. You're getting some time to maybe get some supplies put together, and you're figuring out kind of, if your coop isn't exactly ready yet, it gives you some time to get your coop ready while you have your chick starter set going, which we just put our chicks into a tub. And then when we get our new chicks, I'll show you that video and kind of give you a run through. It's an investment. Our coop initially, if you put everything together with the big enormous run, was about $2,000 in supplies and building materials. And why? What is it that much? It's an enormous run. The whole thing is almost 30 feet long. It's 7 feet wide. It's got a shingle roof. It's big, and it was designed to be big because I wanted enough to support a lot of chickens, and I wanted it to be comfortable, and I wanted it to be protected. So we're not having problems with rats and mice and snakes and all this. So we're not having a coyote problem. It's sturdy, it's strong, it keeps the snow off, and it stays warm for them. So on that note too, you do have to look at predator animals. If you're going to free range them like we do, chickens, when the light comes down or it starts getting to be dusk, they start heading back to where they live. So they go back to their coop on free ranging, and then you just basically have to remember to close up the door and lock them up. And that's also a big thing to remember, is locking up your birds. So if you do have problems during the day, aggressive dogs, or you do have problems with, maybe there's a coyote hunting during the day, you do have to make sure that you do have the ability to take care of that problem. And maybe there's days that you don't, and maybe you have to take care of coyotes, or You have to be careful of hawks and stuff. Usually the birds are big enough once they're fully grown that nobody really dicks with them or messes with them as far as like where we live. However, coyotes could be a problem, or a fox. The chickens really don't have much defense against an animal like that. So do be careful of that as far as predators go. Your initial investment, usually chicks run about $3 for females and about $2 per males. You do not need a male for the chicks or the hens to produce eggs. You only need a male if you want the eggs to be fertilized. So that's kind of a cool thing. One thing I also learned is nesting boxes. You could have a nesting box for every chicken there, and they will all use 1 or 2. So that was something I also learned. So you really only need 4 nesting boxes, maybe, for 50 chickens, because they'll all kind of rotate and put it all into one area. Don't know why, but that's just the way God made them. As far as getting your money back from an investment from selling eggs, you'd have to have quite a bit of chickens and selling them your eggs. If you're selling free range eggs for more than $2 to $3 a dozen, it's going to take a while to get back, because the balance between feed and your initial investment costs, it's more of a self-reliance cost, I would say. You're getting eggs, and enough to sustain your family almost, I would say. And if you're doing meat birds, you have the ability to produce protein, so that's cool. You're getting eggs and all that. I mean, during the summer, they were pumping out anywhere between 8 and 12 eggs a day, so you're getting a dozen a day. Free range eggs, no chemicals, no nothing, and they're all good, So it's kind of a self-reliance and it feels good that you actually have some things that are coming into you. And it's a barter and trading item too, if you look at it in the long run. Like, you know what, maybe I'll trade you 2 dozen eggs for, you have a dairy cow and I'm trading you for milk, in the long run, if that was the case. So keep that in mind. Some city ordinances, if you live in town, they do allow so many chickens or hens and maybe no roosters. So check with your local area. Sometimes they do allow chickens. I think that's neat. But if you do homesteading and you got the property, go big. Start out small, get comfortable with it, and then every year increase it, because now you're used to a certain level and you know what you're capable of. Start increasing it every year. Get bigger. And then take on new challenges with it. So this is going to be Prepping 101 on chickens, and there's going to be quite a few more videos on chickens, obviously. It's what we're doing primarily right now. So on that note, this is Raven Tactical out, and you have a great day. Enjoy your time with your family and enjoy this weekend. Hopefully your weather gets better than ours. Thank you. Have a great day.